What's up guys, Dazzleball here, and welcome to my first ever NBA 2K video, and series in fact. I'm going to be kicking things off with a Myleague series in franchise mode, and basically I'm inspired by some of the real life events that has happened in the NBA. Obviously Lamarcus Aldridge, who was a free agent, has decided to go to the San Antonio Spurs, and I was sort of inspired by the whole Rip City thing in Portland, and so I've made a series around this franchise, and I'm going to be sort of rebuilding it if you can actually put it like that. But yeah, the idea of the series really is to try and trade away some of the key players in Portland for draft picks in the 2015 draft, which has obviously also just happened in real life. And so I'm going to be trying to acquire a full rookie roster for the 2015-2016 season, just because of this whole Rip City thing, where like all Portland's key players have pretty much left the franchise except Damian Lillard. So yeah, I'm going to be trading away basically everything they have to try and get as many high draft picks as possible. So I hope you like the concept of that, and yeah, I'll obviously try and win the NBA already next year. It could turn out pretty difficult with a full rookie roster, but hopefully I sort of reckon that they're going to grow a lot during the season, and hopefully will be enough to actually win a championship. I am also playing on, or going to be playing on superstar difficulty, just because I never claim to be the best at this game at all. I only just started playing 2K from 2K14. So I'm really not an expert in the game at all, and I also just started following the NBA maybe 2 years ago. So please, excuse me if I make some sort of mistakes. I do apologize for that in advance, but they probably are going to happen. But as you can see right now on the screen, I'm just trying to, get as many draft picks as possible. I'm trying to get the Nuggets draft pick right here. And yeah, I'm basically offering some of my best players, and hopefully they'll accept. But I have sped up the footage a lot because it turned out to take quite a while to actually get that many trades going. The computer weren't always too willing to trade with me, but I'm pretty happy with the outcome in the end, but you're going to be seeing that. So yeah, I'm trying to get the Knicks draft pick. I think I got like 9 draft picks in total from just trading from the get-go. And obviously I also have my own draft pick, which is going to be hopefully one of the higher ones, just because I'm trading away my whole roster basically. So I'll be having a really, really poor roster. Going to be seeing that in a moment as well, but yeah, it's really, really terrible. So obviously I'm also hoping that I get a high end draft pick for myself in that regard. And yeah, I hope that you're excited for the series and the whole concept. I wanted to bring you something a little bit different, and I'm really excited to also just try to be playing with the rookies basically next year. And because I think I don't know too much about the rookies, so hopefully I can actually see what are their strengths, and we'll get to experience that in the game. So yeah, I'm quite excited about that. But right now I've got my draft picks, and now I'm just trying to simulate through the season, scouting a bit the draft, some of the top prospects. I'm trying to scout as much as possible, And yeah, I'm also going to just show you the roster real quick here. I mean, I have Steve Blake as my starting point guard, Rodney Hood as my shooting guard, and yeah, the roster is just, it's pretty fucking terrible. Except Joel Anthony, of course, the warden. I mean, he's definitely not terrible, right? He's probably one of the best players in the whole NBA. So yeah, I was quite shocked that he didn't, you know, carry us to a better end result. Because yeah, spoiler alert, we are going to finish a very poor position in the NBA. But of course, we are also in the Western Conference, so we're going to get absolutely smashed by some of the better, higher end teams. But yeah, here we are at the trade deadline, and at this point I thought, why not try and use this last day of trading to maybe get rid of some of the players with longer contracts on the team, because I'm not really going to be using them anyways next year. So if I can get rid of basically everyone with more than a 1 year contract, maybe except 3 players, which aren't even going to be in the rotation anyways. So I just need 3 kind of low quality players to stay at the franchise. So yeah, as you can see, Fergan Aldemir, for example, I need to offload him as quickly as possible because he has a massive contract for some whatever reason. He's not the greatest player ever. But yeah, so I'm just trying to offload these players right now. And yeah, that also turned out quite difficult, really, because no one really wanted to take them actually. But in the end, I managed to get rid of most of them, so that I think I actually ended on only having around 3 players with more than 1 year contract. So that was great. So yeah, now I'm going to just simulate the rest of the season, and we're basically losing everything, but that wasn't really unexpected at all. That's actually quite fine. So yeah, we're almost at the end of the season, and Russell Westbrook won the MVP. He almost averaged a triple-double every game, and yeah, here you can quickly see the all NBA first and second and third teams and the rookie teams and stuff. Wasn't too interested in that in this season, but I actually was quite shocked that the Kings managed to almost beat the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. I thought that was a big surprise, but in the end the Bulls took the championship, and Pau Gasol actually became the Finals MVP, which I was also quite surprised about, really. That would be highly unexpected in real life, at least. But here you can see the draft lottery countdown. We're getting a lot of the picks here. We get both the first, the third, and the fourth pick, which I was very thrilled about. So we can get some of the top prospects, and even without making any trades for higher draft picks, really. And yeah, here we can see I had to fire some of my staff as well. Well, not had to, but I chose to, and I saw some of the legends that had retired, like Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett, and I thought, okay, why not, let's sign Kevin Garnett. His stats were pretty good. And then I also stumbled upon a certain coach that actually used to, manage or train him in Boston. That is, of course, Doc Rivers. So I thought, why not, let's reunite these two gentlemen, and hopefully they will lead the team to a championship next year. And yeah, now I'm basically just trying to get to the draft, really. But you can see some of the players who has opted out of their contracts. We actually have LeBron James, who he didn't win a championship with the Cavs, so he left them, really. Probably won't do that in real life, but in this video game he chose to. And basically all my entire roster just are going to become free agents for next season. There's just not much to do about it. And yeah, here in the draft combine, I'm just quickly checking out some of the top prospects really. See Frank the Tank, Devin Booker, D'Angelo Russell, DeLon Wright, some of those guys. And yeah, here we are at the NBA draft. It went quite well, I'd say, in general. I mean, we had some of the absolute top picks, and yeah, I mean, for next season, I mean, I didn't acquire all the best rookies, of course. I didn't have all the top picks, so I actually decided to sign some free agents to trade for them later on. But yeah, you'll see that in a couple of minutes maybe. But first, here we have the draft, and they have ranked Jahlil Okafor first of all the rookies. It was a little bit of a surprise. I decided to go with Karl-Anthony Towns, of course. He also was picked first in real life, and then I went for Jahlil Okafor. The Bucks picked D'Angelo Russell, who is definitely someone I want to try and pick up next season as well. But yeah, I get like so many like trade offers that just declined everyone basically, because I didn't want to trade away some of my rookies, of course. And then I picked Emmanuel Mudiay, the point guard from Congo. And right now we have two of the two best centers of the draft and a really good point guard. So I thought, okay, let's get a small forward, and we got Justice Winslow, who of course went to the Heat in real life. I think he was one of the sleepers. I mean, only to get drafted at number 10, what was insane really. Then I drafted Devin Booker because I needed a shooting guard, and obviously he has a great shot on him. He was drafted number 13 in real life. So I thought he would fit in really well. And then I went for, I'm sorry, my pronunciation is probably not too good, but I went for Kristaps Porzingis from Latvia, and Tyus Jones as well as my backup point guard. And after that I decided to go with I'm actually not Rashad Vaughn. I decided to go with as my backup shooting guard. He was also drafted like quite high position, in like 17th in real life by the Bucks. And once again it's our turn, and I see Kelly Oubre, and I think to myself, I definitely want to pick him up. I actually think I made quite a mistake, because like I went for the point guard and shooting guards and small forward first as my backups, where I really should have gone for probably backup power forward and center a little bit earlier. So I kind of messed up there, because there are not that many good centers and power forwards in the draft. They're all ranked, like the ones that there are in the draft are actually like ranked really high, like Okafor and Towns, of course. So I did make a bit of a mistake, so I tried my best to get some kind of draft pick from, I think I had Danny Granger and like Alan Crab or something. And so I tried to trade them for just some kind of draft pick so I could finish up the rotation, because I plan for my rotation to be a 10-man rotation next year. So I did manage to get, I think, the 28th pick, but it won't really matter, because I won't really be, I think I'll trade away that rookie anyways, in order to try and get, I think, D'Angelo Russell, and you'll see, I think it's either Frank Kaminsky or Willie Cauley-Stein that I end up getting as my backup center. And so we're just finishing up the draft here, and I was kind of in doubt here, because there are not really too many of the real life rookies left at this point. So, and really a lot of just poor centers, so I didn't really know what to do. So I think in the end I actually decided to go for just the highest ranked rookie left in the entire draft here, just to get more trading value for him, in order to try and get of course the last piece of the puzzle really. which of course was that backup center. So yeah, everything like round 2 just finishes up here, and we're ready to go into free agency. And after we sign all our rookies, of course, the 2-year deals. And yeah, so I see LeBron here, and I know I have a lot of cap space because I mean the rookies, they're not signed to like max contracts at all. So I'm thinking to myself, like, LeBron James, he's gonna be like a great trade asset, and I should definitely be able to get like maybe D'Angelo or Willie Cauley-Stein in a deal with him as my like trade asset. So I actually managed to sign him and Draymond Green up in free agency, which I was quite thrilled about. And yeah, so here there are some like training camps. I didn't really care too much about that. I think I just upgraded Winslow really, but I go directly into trying to acquire first of all, I think D'Angelo Russell, who is actually on the Bucks. But it turned out to be really difficult to get these players because obviously, like LeBron, everyone wants him, right? But he has a massive contract, and D'Angelo Russell doesn't have a very big contract. So I had to add in a lot of like players on the Bucks team who weren't really rated that high, but had really big contracts, like OJ Mayo, and I think they also picked up Wesley Matthews, and then I had to add some like of my players who didn't get didn't have a very large contract in order to actually get D'Angelo Russell. But like it was so difficult because I tried my best. I obviously didn't have any picks either because I traded all my future picks away in order to get 2015 draft picks. So I really didn't have much to offer except just LeBron James really and Draymond Green. So yeah, it turned out really, really difficult, and they didn't want to accept at all. But I really wanted D'Angelo Russell, as I think he's going to be my starting shooting guard actually. So I'm going to be running Moutier on the point, and then D'Angelo as my in the 2 position. But yeah, I just continued to try, and it took me forever. But I really wanted. Now I'm trying to get Kaminsky, and he doesn't want to join me either really. There was just one big mess and very chaotic because I was like, please accept this offer. I didn't think it was too bad of an offer really, but they wanted none of it. They definitely wanted to keep their rookies, and in the end I don't even end up actually getting Frank the Tank, which I was a little bit wasn't too pleased about that. I actually really wanted him, just because I think he would be like, he's a great center who can actually step behind the 3-point arc, and he can hit threes and stuff. He just had a monster performance in the summer league as well, against the Oklahoma City Thunder. He was of course drafted by the Hornets in real life, but yeah, I really like him as a player. I mean, he probably shouldn't have been picked like at the 9th spot already. I think that's a little bit too early, but we'll see. I mean, it's hard to call bad picks and good picks already. It's basically impossible, right? You have to wait a couple of years before you can really assess the situation properly. But yeah, now I'm just trying to get Willie Cauley-Stein, who the Boston Celtics actually picked up, and I mean, they didn't want to trade him either, and I was getting really frustrated at this point, just trying to get something from my free agents. And I ended up actually trying to trade away Wesley Matthews and OJ Mayo, because I got that. I actually managed to get D'Angelo. I don't know if I said that, but I actually do have him right now. So now I just needed a backup center really, and so they didn't want OJ Mayo and Wesley Matthews at all, either Boston or I think it's Memphis where Kaminsky is at. so I wanted to trade them away to maybe get some better players that they wanted. So I ended up getting, I think first of all I got like Tyson Chandler and Rondo, and they didn't really want that either. I mean, I just couldn't make it work with those players. So like coming up, I'll be trying to get rid of these like Rondo and Chandler, and I see this deal for Joakim Noah and Gibson, and I think to myself like, this is a great deal. And I think definitely I don't think Noah has the biggest contract either, so it'll be a lot easier to trade him away to the Boston Celtics and the Grizzlies. So in the end, they do end up accepting the Celtics. At first, I tried the Grizzlies, but they still didn't want the deal at all. So I actually traded Noah once again for another player. I think I end up getting Al Horford, because he has a really he only has a 1-year contract and he only gets like 12 mil or only. I mean, of course that's a lot of money, but it's a lot easier to trade with him, and he's obviously a great center as well, so they're probably going to want him to pick him up. So I end up actually acquiring Horford, and in the end they accept the trade, Horford for Willie Cauley-Stein. I think I gave them some like 2019 second round draft picks as well. But here you can see the rotation as it's going to be for our next season. We have, of course, we have Emmanuel Mudiay as our starting point guard, D'Angelo Russell as our starting shooting guard, and then we have Justice Winslow as our starting small forward. And we have Porzingis as our starting power forward, because for some reason Karl-Anthony Towns can't play power forward in this game. I'm pretty sure he can definitely play it in real life, but not in this game. So he's going to be, well, he is our sixth man, but he's going to get as many minutes as Porzingis, almost Okafor as well. Then we have Willie Cauley-Stein as well, and we have Tyus Jones and Rashad Vaughn and Devin Booker, who's going to be our backup like point guard and shooting guards. So I'm really happy with this rotation. We have Kelly Oubre as well as our backup small forward. But I'm really happy with this rotation. I think I have got some of the absolute best players in the draft, and I'm actually quite hopeful that we can go ahead and win maybe a championship in the next season already. Because they're actually quite high rated, these players already, and at the end of the season I think we are gonna have like some of the starters are going to be like 90 rated anyways. But yeah, that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and peace.